Welcome back to K&L Farms. I'm Ken. I hope this video finds you well. Also, I wanted to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and we're just going to go over some of this, some of the activities I got to take care of today. But I'm going to come back and show you some of the expansion we made, and I'll link this tool organizer in Amazon down in the description if you'd like to go take a look. But there's something more crucial that I need to take care of before I get to this portion of it. And I'll take you outside and show you right now. Okay, we're outside, and I took a snow blower, and I took a snow blow to plow, or a path back and forth. And when the snow was fresh, that was pretty good. The kids or grandkids could commute back and forth from their house to our house. But I had a granddaughter, actually middle granddaughter. She went ass over tea kettles right about here, and I'm sometimes puzzled with how those sayings came about, because that's an unusual saying, but it's been that way as long as I've been alive, or long as I've been around and saying it. So what I need to do is I need to take, and it's pertinent for me, it's more important than working in the wood shop right now, is put some ice, de-icer from here around to the camera and around to my workshop, because from the house to the workshop or the wood shop is probably 30 feet, and I don't want my wife to do the same thing, because if my wife actually did that, it'd be much more critical if she flipped like my granddaughter did. So I'm going to work on that right now, and then we'll go back in that wood shop here in just a minute, and I'll show you what I do. Now, when I first started doing this, I would just take and basically get a seeder, lawn seeder, dump the de-icer and lawn seeder, and I just seed the whole thing. But what happens is you get a lot of granules in the same area, and where that de-icer now has gotten pretty expensive, now I just basically try and feed the chickens. It looks like feeding the chickens, but let's get that bag cut open and put some de-icer in it. I'm going to go from that corner. I don't know if you can see that. There's a fir tree right there. From that fir tree around the corner to the camera is what I'm trying to do. And you'll see it's slick on me even. I just take a feed container. This is actually, I think it's a dog feed container. I get a little bit in there to start out with, and I just seed it like I'm feeding chickens. And what it does is, as time goes on, you actually see what gets thawed out, and then you can tell where you need more of this at. And if you just blanket it all at once, you don't know that you're not double salting the same area. And you kind of see, because so I've traveled from, I probably traveled 30 feet with maybe a quarter of this container, and this container is probably 4 by 6, 4 inches wide, 6 inches long, and about 2 inches deep. Probably a quarter of that is how I get started. Then I come back and I get another scoop, and that might be half of this container full, and then I just basically, like I'm feeding chickens. But I want this thawed out for Christmas Day, and I don't, as soon as I can get it thawed out, the better. And I just do it kind of sparingly like this to actually see how it does. And then if I come back and I do the areas that don't get thawed out. So, because when I first did it, it'd be just a blanket. That container, that's 50-pound container, would be gone in just short order, and I'd run out, and then I had to go back to town and get more. So now I just kind of do it sparingly. Plus, this will give you traction. This de-icer gives you traction. See how I got traction right away on that? Of course, it's not thawing. It's not thawing out yet. I still got traction though. And as I go back, I'll just put a little bit more on some of these corners. And if I got a cousin, and he grows fish for a living, and he would say it looks like feeding fish. And Martin's on his way over here. I don't think this is going to bother Martin. Martin the cat. Yes, I know Martin. And I'm not sure what Martin wants, but let's say hello to Martin. Good morning, Martin. I fed Martin already. Martin might be a little short on water. I got to work on water because it might be froze up. He may not be able to get to water. But I got to work on that later on. Yep, hello Martin. Okay. Martin doesn't seem to have a problem with the de-icer. I'm not sure where the other cats are, but Martin's the one that actually comes and usually says hello. Okay. Yes, I fed you already. I know. You're okay. You're okay, Martin. What are you doing, Martin? Hopefully he doesn't slip and fall. What are you doing? Hi, Martin. Hi, Kitty. What are you doing, Kitty? My kitty. Okay. So I'm just going to take this bucket, or feed bucket, put it in there, and I got to move the camera to get around that corner. And then we're going to go into the garage and work on the garage here in just a little bit, that wood shop area. Okay, we're between the garage and the house, and this is the area I'm most concerned with because my wife commutes from the house to the wood shop or the garage fairly recently or frequently, and I don't want her falling because it would be a much bigger concern if my wife actually fell in lieu of a granddaughter. And I know what Martin wants now. He wants in that garage because that garage right there is heated. He wants to go in that heated space. And leave down below in the comments if you think he should actually go in there or not. I think he should. Okay, so I'm going to put Martin in the garage so he can get warmed up a little bit because it's heated in the garage. Out here it's cold, so he wants in the garage. Okay, he's in the garage for a little bit. I'm going to leave him in there for a couple hours maybe so he can warm up. But it's not that cold. Outside is not, right now it's not that cold. I mean, above freezing. This morning we got a couple aid calls and it was super slick. And what happens is, and what's happened here is, we've got snow, it's got warmed up a little bit, and you can see the gravel. We had a foot of snow, probably, and you can see the gravel. And it's warmed up, and then last night, well, we got some rain on top of it, and then it froze. So that's why it's super slick. The roads were super slick. My vehicle I usually use is pretty dependable, and I was going slow this morning for the first aid call, and I pitched around a corner. I don't normally. I had to actually come off the brake because I was cornering, and I was cornering by maybe 35 miles an hour. I think that's what the speed limit is through town. Town's 4 miles away. And I had to come off that and give it a little power because the vehicle I'm in is a front wheel drive, and then limited slip, it actually shifted to 4-wheel drive. And I made it around the corner before I got out of the lane. But I could tell 3 occasions this morning that it was attempting to break loose on me, and it's probably the best vehicle I can afford to buy for snow and ice. First of all, if you're still here, thank you. And second, I kind of themed that I would get back to the wood shop because I wanted to. Actually, I wanted to, and that goes into wants and needs. I want to be in the wood shop. I need to actually get some boards cleared out. In order to get to the boards, I got to plow a little bit. And the other phrase that key phrase that I'm kind of theming is Hollywood homesteaders, and it upsets me and the wife considerably in the fact that we go and we look at a building or a structure somewhere and we say, how did you do blah? Well, the homesteader would say, we did it before that statement, they would say, we did this. Well, how did you do this corner, or how did you do that? Or because we're actually thinking, well, that seems impressive. How did you do that? And around Hollywood homesteaders is the answers normally is we had a contractor do that, or we had an employee do that. Hollywood homesteader for me actually is they have several employees that are doing the stuff like this, the stuff we do, our daily stuff in order to get done, to carry on what we want to do. They have an employee or something, and in my case, or my point of view, is that's a Hollywood homesteader. So we're going to just try and plow this out enough. I got to get some boards. There's some 1x4s behind me, and I plowed some of this up so you can actually see it, and I'm going to plow a little bit more to get to the 1x4s. There's actually a 2x4 in that stack. They got tarps on the top, but we try and take the 1x4s that we're going to use in the wood shop up to the wood shop and get them drying out, because now they're considerably wet, and we let them dry for some time. Take a moisture meter and see what the moisture meter is prior, or when we get them up there, and the moisture meter after they've been drying a little bit. So I got to get some of those, and then I got to go up the other end and get some 2x6s that are in a stack up the upper end. But right now I'm trying to get to 1x4s. I'm sorry, 1x6s, 1x8s, and one 2x4. Okay, so that's what it takes on a real homestead just to get to material. And I'm just trying to get some of this material in the truck to take it up and let it dry out a little bit. Those two I can't even pick up.